This is my Ironman. If you look closely, you might notice something's off. Yes, I'm nearly max total, and yet have the defense level of a champion that's just killed Elvarg for the first time. At one point, I would have called this account a Rune Pure, but let's not hold on to the terminology of the past and just call it a 42 defense locked Ironman. The goal on this account is to complete all combat diaries that are in the spirit of Ironman mode. That is to say, all combat diaries that I can do on my own. Some might say I'm not doing the team tasks because I suck at the game. And you're probably right, but if I ever feel too self-conscious about that, I'll just pay the boosting clans to carry me and be done with it. In order to complete the combat diaries, I'll need good gear. So along the way, we will be grinding various bosses to upgrade my gear to what I'll need to finish the tasks. Those that don't know, which is probably just about every one of you, considering how long it's been, I had a previous video series for this account. The account was just getting to the point to do more end-game activities before I quit. We had a bludgeon done for my best in slot crush weapon outside of Inquisitors. We had Zora done. We had all Zenites done. We had best in slot for nearly all my armor pieces. And let's just say I had enough supplies that I would have lasted until the day that Jagex revives skilling. You could say I was a Giga Chad of the Ironman Rune Pure restricted accounts, but then I decided to quit. And as we all know, you never actually quit RuneScape. So about 9 months later, I was back, but my mains bank was empty, and I was really not looking forward to starting from zero. So I looked around and realized I had 600 mils sitting on my Snowflake account that I was, of course, never going to play again. So what did I do? The only rational thing there was to do, I killed my Iron Man for hundreds of mils of slowly obtained items that I would, of course, have to get all over again if I were to ever return to it. So, hopping back into the game, I still had all my crafting supplies, so that's awesome. I started using that up because crafting gives an awesome skill cape. The crafting cape, it allows you infinite teleports to the crafting guild where you can bank there. It's very close to a bank. Infinite, very nice. I still had the supplies for that, so I continued working on getting my crafting up for 99 crafting. That will help me with pretty much anything I do in the game to have a quick teleport to the bank. Also, I continued working on clues. They gave me alkables, which were decent at this point in time when I had pretty much no GP. And then, of course, I had a few good items that I wanted as well. A Robin Hood hat, a Ranger boots. The Robin Hood hat's best in slot until TOA. The Rangers are still best in slot. And then from Elites, I also wanted to get a Feminine Kilt, which gives some strength bonus in the leg slots. Currently, I have no strength bonus there, and there really is no way to get strength bonus there as a 42 defense account, except for Inquisitors, the only other option, which is a very long grind and still a little ways away. Another thing that's used pretty often at the high level are blood runes. You need them for thralls, you need them for barraging. If I were to ever get a scythe or sanguinesti staff, I need tons for that. And then as an Iron Man, one of the best ways to get your prayer up is to use the demonic offering spell. You can use that on Abbey demon tasks, necro tasks, pretty much anything that drops ashes. It's very good for prayer. But in order to use that, you have to have wrath runes, which there really isn't a good way to get those in the game other than runecrafting them. So I wanted to get 95 runecrafting before I went back to Slayer. So runecrafting, grind, did that through blood runes. One other thing I wanted to talk about, anyone that watched my previous series on this account is probably wondering what's going on looking at my stats right here. But before I was staying, I think at 52 prayer and then 75 attack. But I changed my mind on those. So I am going to be going for 99 prayer. And then my attack, I'm thinking about keeping it at 82 or 84. 84 would max at the same combat level as 82. And basically some of the speed tasks, I need as many advantages as I can possibly get. So if I can get 2 more attack levels and stay the same combat level, I may do that. And I'm not necessarily completely against 99 attack at some point, but for now I am going to be stopping at 84. Which will max at 106 combat. So if I can finish all the Grandmasters at 106 combat, that'd be really cool. We were going to get new prayers. That actually comes after anything in this video, but we were expected to get new prayers. Unfortunately, that failed, so that kind of messed up the prayer plan a little bit, although I still think at some point in the future we will get new prayers. And the 99 prayer won't be a complete waste. And so while completing the night at the theater quest, where you have to complete a run of the entry mode COB, I actually completed, I think that might be the first combat task on video for this series. So the task was Theater of Blood SM Adept, which I really don't know what that's for, what it is exactly. There we are, the first combat task of many more to come. The Kingdom Divided quest came out since I last played the account, so I went ahead and did that. That's for thralls, which are really big, especially on this account where my DPS is lower. That the extra DPS from the thralls is extremely helpful in a lot of places. And I completed some other quests. Night at the Theater. Basically, I want to go for the Saturated Heart as well. That's another item on the list I want to get that I'll need to complete some of the tasks. So I will be doing a lot of Slayer, and I want to have as many blocks as possible. So at this point, I do have enough quest points for all the blocks, but in the future there'll probably be another block that I want to unlock. Also, I completed as many achievement diaries as I possibly could. One of the big ones in this video is the Western Province diaries. Completing the hard unlocks the ability to upgrade my Void armor, which is actually one of my best armors. Also, I unlocked the Crystal Halberd, which is basically my best in slot spec weapon for a while. And then another thing I worked on was getting the double ammo mold, which will allow me to make cannonballs a bit quicker, which will help with Slayer. Again, doing Slayer for the Saturated Heart. And then at the end of the video here, I had some currencies that I wanted to use up. So I did a lot of Motherlode Mine, so I did that to get gems. And then I had some crystal keys that I wanted to use up. Basically all my crystal keys I'm going to be using at the Elven chest just for the extra loot, since I have tons of extra crystal shards anyway. Might as well use all my crystal keys there and get upgraded loot versus the regular crystal key chest. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see the future videos on this account. They're only going to go up from here, getting into all the more difficult PVM stuff with 42 defense. I think it should be pretty interesting, pretty fun, definitely pretty stressful. I think I'm going to have a hard time on some bosses, but we're going to grind it out. We're going to do it. We're going to learn everything I need to learn, and we're going to get all of those solo combat tasks done.